Welcome back, everybody. So happy to have you here. I'm going to do this video a little different this time. Instead of just having the overhead, we're going to try and do a little switching back and forth so you can see it from all the different angles. So bear with me as I'm trying to do this, and please, if you can hear that squeaking chair, I do apologize. It's just not in the budget right now to replace that. I keep apologizing for that, and hopefully at some point we will get rid of that. So to start off this project, I'd like to say that it is inspired by the trunk that I was working on for my daughter. It's a little travel case. It's just a cardboard box. And it came with most of this on here. I just added some stickers and some top coat and some little metal corners. But it really is inspiring this next project here that I'm going to do with a cigar box. Just a little treasure memory box kind of idea. You can see here that she can add all her stickers to, and you know, if she goes to a show or something, she can add, you know, the paperwork in here, tickets, all that kind of stuff. She loves to travel, and so I want her to have some sort of memory box, right? So I was thinking this morning when we were doing that live on Facebook that not everybody can get their hands on a box like that. So sometimes maybe a cigar box would be just as beautiful. So to do this project, I'm actually going to be using one of my printables. If you don't know about my printables, I'm going to zoom in close so you can see this one in just a second here. But printables are something I sell digitally on the website. I also have a private group that gets them every month for free. Any new ones that I put out, they get them for free in that paid membership group. But this is one of the new ones that has gone out, and it's kind of inspired by that box back there with some old letters and pictures and some florals and stuff like that on it. Absolutely gorgeous. We might also add some napkin to it. And then we also have this beautiful tissue paper that is definitely along that same line of letters and stamps and such. So we have that. Just in case I need a little more, though, I do have my archival ink here. And I have some Affirmia? Is that how you say it? You know, little paper cutouts and such. So I have a few little things like that if I decide to do that. I have a script stamp. I have one with some butterflies on it. And then I have one with some like postal stamps on it as well. Just some different ideas. I also have some metal corners here from Temu. That's where I get most of my stamps from as well. So just some different ideas, but really anything can go on these. It's basically a mishmash, a mixed media of all the things that you like, basically. So here's the cigar box. I've already given it a white primer. I'd like to put something different right here to cover up this part. I could heat that up and try and peel it out, but quite often it's very difficult and you have to do some sanding and stuff. I don't want to use Goo Gone on it because that's going to make it more of a greasy finish that I won't be able to decoupage over top of in a wood box. So we'll just probably put something over top, but we'll see how it goes. It's just kind of how the mood takes us. So I hope you enjoyed this. Join along if you have a box, and let me know if you've done something like this before. So to start this off, I am going to be using my printer paper. I want that to be my focal point on this project. And I think I'm going to go something, so I'd like it a little more beige over to the side here. So I think I'm going to go something just like this. I'm not going to cut it out. I'm just going to set it on there, fold back the edges, and kind of see what I like to be centered and such. So the first part I'm going to do is I'm actually going to grab a glue stick. Now, if you want to use Mod Podge or a decoupage medium, you can. But for some projects, I just like to grab the Elmer Extreme glue stick. So I'm going to be using a bit of everything so you can see anything goes. So this is just printed off on printer paper. You can print it off on rice paper or tissue paper. You can print it off on like anything and everything. There is even fabric sheets that you can print that off on if you wish. But I just did this one on paper, just to show you that anything goes. I'm going to put a healthy coat of glue stick on here. Just like that. Also reminded me I should plug in my little iron here let me know in the comments if you like videos paced like this that you can kind of create along with, or do you prefer the fast-paced videos? I'm trying to decide what people like better. I don't know what really to do on the page. Do people prefer the slow craft with me kind of style, or do people prefer the sped up videos here on YouTube? So let me know in the comments which you prefer, because I could do either. I really can. I try and put out a bit of both and just see what's getting better views right now. But it is hard to determine what people want. So now that I've got that on there, it's not pressed down, like I haven't heated up the glue or anything yet, but it is pretty flat already. I'm going to go ahead and grab my little sanding block. And I hope my editing tool will help eliminate some of the loud noise. I know it's a little loud. Oh my gosh, that is gorgeous already. Now, could you imagine you could paint the sides in like a light pastel pink or a blue or a beige cream, anything really. Oh my gosh. And it looks really pretty already. Now, you'd want to put a top coat on there because it's just paper. Although, with that being said, this box back here was just a paper finish on it when it was purchased. So, I guess it's not really necessary, but I like to make things durable. I am going to heat this up a bit. You can see the bottom of my iron is starting to lose its finish. So what's that? A cute little iron from Amazon. It's not getting very hot yet. It is on, but it's not very hot yet. I just like to heat up the glue a little bit underneath, just to make sure it's really stuck down. But my finish is starting to come off on my iron. Got a little bit of texture going on to the bottom of it as it does it too, unfortunately. But she still works. There we go. Oh, it's gorgeous already. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put the tissue paper on all the sides. Now, because this was a cigar box, it does have, I don't know if you can see that, there's some writing there. It's actually a little sunken in. It's like if they've engraved it, but it's okay. It's okay, it just adds a little more character to it. So I'm going to close that little latch. Sorry if you couldn't see that. I'm closing the little latch there. I'm going to grab some decoupage medium. Just like so. Now again, Mod Podge, glue stick, whatever you prefer. But now I'm using the Pentart just to show you what I have and what I like and how to use the different things. And it really does depend on my mood, I think, on which ones I use some days. I have a lot of Mod Podge and I'm trying to use it up because this one is my all-time favorite. This Pentart. But until all the Mod Podge is used up, I'll still be switching back and forth to it occasionally. This is just a little smoother, a little creamier. Everything just glides better. I feel like my paintbrush just dances across the wood when I use that one. Now I'm going to, I could probably line this right up to the corner. That would be nice. And if you get some wrinkles, it's really not that big of a deal. The little texture is okay. Especially with a project like this. And that edge is perfect. That edge is perfect. I'm going to go ahead and just sand this side off. You'll want to do it carefully though at this stage, just because it's not dry yet. So technically it could still move around a bit. But for the sake of the video, I'm going to try and, you know, move along quickly. Also, I'm not a very patient person. You'll see that with my crafting. I'm not overly patient. I tend to jump ahead quite often. There we go. Oh, it's looking cute. Oh, it's looking so cute. Okay. Doing this front piece, because I have those latches there, and I really don't want to remove them. They're very thin metal, and they tend to, let's dry this up a bit. They tend to bend, and then I can't get them back in properly because they are cheap hinges, right? They just come on the cigar box. I'm probably just going to paint over them and decoupage around them. So we're going to have to do a little finessing on the front. That's what I'm saying. Now, remember, this is all going to need a top coat still, but I do like to get the first layer on there. Looking for an X-Acto knife. I'm hoping I have one handy. Oh, here's one. Just to go down that crack of where it opens. There we go. And then that still opens up very nicely. And then we'll have to do a kind of a mishmash back here too as well. But that's okay. So let's, just to show you the difference, I can grab, that's a satin. No, we'll use it. I was going to say, usually I use matte, but here's a satin one of the Mod Podge. Anything goes. It's not going to make a difference. Ooh, this one actually is a little bit smoother. That's interesting. That one feels more like the decoupage medium. It's a little thinner. Now, if you didn't want wrinkles, you can do the iron-on method with this as well, where you apply your Mod Podge or your decoupage medium, and then you let it dry, and then you can put your paper on top and iron it. But like I said, I'm rushing through this one, just trying to get it all pretty, real quick and easy, just kind of to give you ideas. Oops. Move that. There we go. And again, we'll go around the edges. How many of you love decoupage projects? I am addicted to them. I do a lot of decoupaging. I love any kind of crafting really, but decoupaging seems to be my one that I always go back to. Right now it's watercolor and decoupage. Like I said, it switches back and forth all the time as to what my favorites are. That's the problem with being such a creative soul, I guess. I'm just going to change my lighting here a little bit, see if that helps us out. There we go. Looking good. And again, we'll go with our knife and just try to follow that ledge. That little ledge there that shows the separation of the lid and you can see right there. I pulled it up a little bit. That's okay. It's going to be okay. Sand that off. Okay. Now, because there's a little white showing there, I can fix that up already. I'm going to grab my little ink pad, put a little tiny bit of this ink on my finger, and I can just lightly touch it in there, and you can see it's just kind of blending it in. It's the perfect color for this, and that one's called Ground Espresso. And it really is the perfect color for this design. I can't always match them that nicely, but this one is the perfect color. There we go. 2 sides and the top already completed. Isn't that looking good? Okay. For this next part, I almost want to stand up, but then you won't be able to see me as well. But we're going to go ahead and sand that on, or glue that on, and then I think I'm just going to kind of trim around that. So a little bit of glue. And I hope you're all understanding that you don't have to switch back and forth on glues like I am. I'm just showing you all the different possibilities. I've gone back to my favorite one, which is the Decoupage Medium and Glue from Pentart. And the link is in the description, or in the, in the description below. But I hope you know that you don't have to switch back and forth just because I'm switching back and forth. I'm just showing you variety of options here. All right. You don't have to bear with me. I might have to stand up here. Okay. And I am just gonna just lightly try and carve out around that little hinge, and if it's not perfect, it's okay. We can make that match in better after. It might be easier just to cut that section right out. Just like so. You can come in. Yeah, you can come in. What? Sorry, my daughter's bringing me in a present right now, apparently. Tell me when I can open my eyes and continue.
Yep.
I was like, I'm looking, what? All right, so I'm going to take a little bit here. Just put a little dot on the table so I can work with it. Let me get you up close so you can see what's going on here. So with this paper, you can just tear some along and just kind of touch it up, and it's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. Nobody's going to see that difference after at all. Oops. There we go. And even if it covers up some of the metal, I'm okay with that too. Let me get a little glue on there. Get that stuck down nicely. You can see when I painted, I actually went over top of a lot of the hinge too, and I'm okay with that. If I want it to be really bright and shiny afterwards of gold, I can go over it with some Rub and Buff or some gold paint. But I kind of like the rustic look, so I'm okay if paint gets on my hinges and stuff sometimes. I'm just kind of tapping these into place. Oops. Just like so. There we go. I'm going to dry this up. Because I'm rushing and this isn't totally dry, I have to be super careful. There we go. Oh, see, I didn't cut that properly up at the top. So, what we're going to do, it's okay. Don't panic. And I'm not saying that to myself. I'm saying that to all of you. Don't panic. We're going to sand off that little bit. And that little piece that I'm taking away from there, I'm just going to go back up. I'm going to glue it on back up here. It's okay. Okay, and there's a little bit there that I'll just have to trim up afterwards. All good. All right. I'm just going to close that back up. And then we're going to try and do the back side as well. So for this one, I think I'm just going to cover up the back hinge totally, because it really doesn't bother me. I can go back and add some color after. And again, I could use glue stick, I could use Mod Podge, I can use whatever adhesive I want for this, but this one is my favorite. tack that back up. And you can do your top coat as you want, as you go around if you want, but I tend to leave it closer to the end. But oh, did you see that? I went a little too hard again, and I ripped it. Got a little crinkle right there, but that's okay. I'm going to take this piece right there. Just going to rip off a piece. Stick it right in there. It doesn't even have to line up. It's going to look beautiful after. Especially with this paper, it doesn't have to line up. If it was like a definite design pattern to it, yeah, you'd want to line it up. But with this being that newsprint kind of letters all over the place and stamps, it looks so good. Just like that. A little extra glue there. Bam. Look how fancy she's looking already. Okay, I need a little bit right along that top piece. Let's grab just a little bit more glue here. There we go. And I'm going right over all of that work. All I'm leaving is the bump outs of the actual hinge. Okay. Now we're at the stage where I'm going to give it all a little bit of a top coat, and then I'm going to let this thing totally dry. Okay, so I'm going to go over it all with my decoupage medium or my Mod Podge, whatever. Give it a nice top coat, and then I'm going to let it dry for a couple hours, and then I can come back and I can do some more. Unless, of course, if you want to stamp. If you want to stamp, you got to do that first. It doesn't stick quite as nicely to the top coat. So I almost forgot. Let me see if I can get this opened up here. Come on. Open sesame. There we go. I wanted to give a couple stamps of this on the top. Now, I do have the little stamp, you know, acrylic pads, but this is so tiny. I find sometimes just peeling them off works. So this one says airmail. I'm just going to stamp it down. Okay. And I'm going to stick that right there. Oh, that's cute. And it matches that side print perfectly. I'm also going to grab one of these round ones because there's those round pattern stamps all over the sides. Don't know if there's an upside down way to this or not. Oh, that's perfect. Okay. Good, good, good. I did have the script out, but I don't think I need it. There's enough script going on everywhere on this. But I would like a butterfly on here. Ooh. It's one thing, the Temu ones, sometimes they really stick to their backer sheets. You also have to pay attention to your words, because sometimes the words are spelt incorrectly or they're missing parts totally. So this is a pretty butterfly though. There you are, you know, you get what you pay for, I guess, with them is what I'm trying to say. They are a cheap way to get stamps, but oh, that's perfect. That is perfect. Okay. And you want to make sure you've used archival ink, okay, for this. Otherwise it smudges. So I just want to take you up close and show you my stamps. Oh, it's so pretty. All right. I'm going to dry that up real quick. Try not to dry up my decoupage medium that's sitting there. But I just find sometimes it doesn't stick to the Mod Podge or the decoupage medium quite as nicely as it does to the cardstock or the paper, right? Edge I gotta glue the sand off still in there. All right, now we can go right over top. There's a little chunk right in my bottle. Okay, it's going to be a little hazy at first, but that's okay. It's going to dry clear. You just got to trust the process. That little piece out of the way. I was looking around for something. I don't even know what I was looking for because the paintbrushes were right there. And if your paper starts to bump up and curl up or, you know, make bubbles, don't sweat it. As it dries, it usually flattens out. And if not, embrace the wrinkles or take a little pin and just poke them and then heat them up, and you can get them to lie flat most of the time afterwards. I find like 95% of the time, those wrinkles just go away on their own. My thing is just learning to leave them be and walking away. Even though I know they're probably going to go away on their own, it's just something about them that, you know, I want to touch them. And I'm much better off if I just leave it alone. The thinner the coat, the less likely you are to have that bubbling too, is what I find. It's when I leave it on a little long and it really soaks that paper and it gets it all kind of wet. That's what happens. Or if it's just a little too thick on the underside, it happens. Nice thin coats are your best friend though. Get my sleeve into this. Now this stuff works as your top coat as well. So if you're using it as a top coat too, just give it 2 coats. 2 coats, get it on there really good. I am gonna leave my paintbrush in there to let that dry up. I can just soak my paintbrush if it takes too long, or I walk away and I forget about it and I come back and that's hard as a rock. I can soak that in a little bit of vinegar. It softens it right back up again. No worries at all. All right, so let's take a little break and then we'll come back when this is dry. And we're back. So as you can see, it is dry now. It's actually a little bit tacky still, and it's only been about maybe 15-20 minutes, just long enough to go and make a tea, but it is looking so cute. So cute. Okay, I still have to figure out what I'm going to do on this front part, although my white paint just chips right off, so I might just clean that up and leave it gold. That it's just cleaning up all on its own. Well, not on its own, but by me scraping it. Okay, we do need to do something right here. So I had printed off another sheet. Oh, there it is. And I've also got my little paper cutter, which is just so stinking handy for making straight lines. So I'm gonna load this in here like so. Just gonna trim off my edge. Off my edge. And let's see. I'm just going to set it in there like so. I'm using my finger. I'm just going to mark those 2 spots. I need my glasses. All right. Let's load that up right like that. And hopefully I've got this all straight. There we go. Absolutely perfect. So we could grab our, oops, the lid's already off. Our handy dandy glue stick, which is getting kind of low. Getting very low apparently. Ooh, I'm running out. I'm running out of glue. I would say that's out of glue. Shoot. Do I have another one handy? Oh, I'm out of glue. Okay, so I'm gonna have to go to Mod Podge. It'll be a mismatch of the 2. That's okay. It'll be all right. That's what I mean by you have to just go with the flow on some stuff, because stuff happens. It's just the way it is. You can plan it the best you can, and something's always gonna go a little awry. And that's okay. I'm just putting a good liberal amount in there. Over top of my glue stick too. It's okay. They will work out just fine together. I did unplug my little iron earlier. So let's get that plugged back in, just in case. I'm just going to set that right in there. Do I have a old gift card? A little excess glue. A little excess glue in there. I need a baby wipe. There we go. Oh my gosh, look at that. It is so cute. All right. Now, I did want to stick some of these kind of things in here too. So I thought about doing it on the outside edge, but this one's really cute. It's a little pocket. I don't know where it came from. Temu, I think. And I think it just had a bunch of these already in it. So I think I'm going to actually put that right here so that when you open up the box, you got this cute little pouch right here. What do you think? I would have loved to have had a glue stick for that. Usually have two of them. But I'm wondering if the other one is empty too. Oh, 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 oh. I found it. I found it. Okay. Okay. I don't think this is hot yet. Nope, it wasn't on. Oh, that's so cute. I do wish I would have stuck a little I don't know, a little something there. It just seems a little plain. I don't know. Just feels like it needs a little lace or something along that top edge. See how it's got that little bit of lace right here? I feel like it just needs a little bit up at the top as well. But I don't seem to have any. There we go. I think I'm going to cut just a little bit this lace. And of course, I probably should have went to one end or the other, but I didn't. I cut that like pretty much right in the center, didn't I? Shucks. Oh, well. And then we're going to tuck that back in behind there with a little fabric tack. Just a little line of fabric tack in there. Center that up. And then you can also use the fabric tack even on the cardboard as well. So there. I think that's better. Just a little pretty something or something there. See what I mean? Just a little lace up there because there's a little lace pattern there. And then of course there is a little bit of writing there that I don't even know what that is. So just thinking what I would like there. A little something, something. I'm thinking. I think actually I would like to change it that whole bottom section to match still. So let's try this. Let's try this. I just took my fingernail all around that edge. I'm going to cut out a little spot. And then I'm just going to take, let me get this out of the way so you can see what I'm going to do here. I'm actually going to just put a little bit down this side and a little bit down this side and a little bit down this side, just like that. I'm going to open this back up, and I am going to, along that bottom spot, I'm just going to glue that on there, just like that. And then when that's dry, it's also a little pocket. So we could have them, some stuff goes in this pocket. Where's my big one that I had? I had a larger one. I thought I had a larger one, maybe not. Okay, well that one can go in there. That one can go in there, and you could write on the back of these then. Look at that. You could put like a few different ones in there. Oh, I love it. So cute, so that you have this little front pocket, which you don't want to leave that in there right now because it's wet. And then you've got this back pocket here. I think that's so cute. Oh, it is fabulous. Okay. So that is our cute box. Other than, I just need to touch up this front little latch. So what I'm actually doing is with my fingernail, I'm scraping off any of the paper that went over it. I know before I said, I'm just going to go over it. Well, I'm gently picking that off. And I'm picking off any of the white paint there. And I'm just going to leave it gold. I think that is so cute. I think it's so cute. What do you guys think of this project? And then if you want to save like tickets for the movies or a show that you've seen when you were traveling, or first dates, oh my gosh, for your granddaughter's first dates. Oh my gosh, how precious would that be? Too late. My granddaughters have already had their first dates, but that would be so cute. Or for baby stuff, like if you had, you know, cute little baby booties and stuff like that that you want to save. Oh my gosh. I think it's priceless. Do you love this project? Let me know in the comments. It's hard to believe, eh? It was just a cigar box. And now it is so cute. I feel like it needs something right there, though. Don't you? Don't you think it needs a little something there? I'm not sure what I have. Actually, it's a picture frame that I did in resin. It's supposed to go this way. How does it look that way? Off-centered. I got a little bird. What do we think with the bird? Do I like a little bird there? I just feel like it needs something. Needs a little something on that front piece. I'm just looking to see what I have handy sitting here. All kinds of molds and rocks. Just give me a minute to look around. Okay, so I heated up that arm for in the back part, but I don't know if I need that or not. Just take this out. So that's the fun thing about a fast forward video. You get to see it just done and it's planned because I cut out all my hms and ha's. But if you want to see how my brain works, or you're feeling like you don't function properly because you don't think that way or something like that, or hey, I always change my mind or whatever and nobody else seems to do that, that's where it's kind of good to see how someone else's brain works too. And we're all kind of like that, you know, or at least I am. That's like, ooh, what if I did this or that? So from Temu a while ago, I got these paper cutout frames and they are embossed a little bit. So I'm wondering, what if, I don't know if I want to go that dark. Let's go with this one. This one's called Vintage Photo. And maybe a baby wipe. Because it's too white and nothing on here is white. So Let's grab a little bit of that. Ooh, that's pretty. Look how when I lightly go over it with my finger, the embossed parts are going nice and dark. The other areas are staying light and creamy. Oh, I think that's kind of cool. Okay, now we still need something to go in the middle though. Ooh, look at that. Is that not cool? Okay, now I just need something, a little something something for in the middle, and I think it should be that flower. Did I save that part, or did we use that part? Oh, goodness gracious me. Great balls of fire. Oh, what a thrill. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. No, it's in behind, so that's not going to work. It's in behind here. So, I could print off another one. Or, I did think about adding that other pink rose from here. Just don't know. So I was going to add those to the side, kind of like that. But I don't think it needs it. I think it's beautiful just like that. I just need something for inside here. What if I grab this other printable? Oh my gosh. That's the one right there. See? I just got to bear with my brain. Just for a little bit. Okay. I'm going to need... I'm thinking, I'm going to need a pen. Or let's use one of those heat up pens. These pens, if you haven't seen these, they're called friction pens. Here, let me show you on the back first. I'll show you on a scrap piece here. So look at this. I can write my name. Oh, well, that didn't write it very well either. Here, let me scribble all over this. Because I had them stored this way and not the right way. Anyways, you can see it's got a bunch of pen marks on there. Watch what happens when you heat that up. Ha ha! Is that not fabulous? It's like gone. So I can doodle some more. And you can heat it up with a hair blower as well. And it disappears. It's like spy ink. Well, let me see if I've got another one that flows a little better. There we go. Okay. So I need this butterfly to fit in there the best I can. Just something like that. Okay. So I've done a little doodle around it. I don't want it cut that specifically, that small. I'd like a little bit of overhang. I'm just gonna for that, no fancy cutting, just went doodly all around it. I hate fussy cutting. You'll learn that about me. I really don't like fussy cutting. I'm gonna heat it up so that oh goodness gracious me. I heated it up so that the ink would disappear, but there's glue on my table. No! There's a little glue on my table and I heated it right up. Oh my goodness. Okay. We're going to apply this to the back. Oh my gosh, that was horrible. It made me panic for a second. I was like, oh no, I'm going to have to print off another piece of paper. All right. I'm going to go ahead and I should have did this part first, but okay. I'm going to add some glue all around this guy. Oops. Just like that. Got a little lint. Making messes. But that's okay. Gonna go ahead. I'm gonna try and map that out where I want it. Just like that. I'm gonna apply it here. I know it's a little backwards thinking, but it'll work. Oh my gosh, that is so gorgeous. Wait till I turn this around and show it to you. Check that out. Spur of the moment, like you saw, I didn't plan that. And it looks so perfect there. I love it. Ah, so cute. Okay, if you enjoyed this project, please, please, please do me the honor, and it really is an honor because I am so privileged and I feel so blessed. Every time I see a message from one of you, I'm like, oh my gosh. I just feel so blessed that I can craft with you guys and I can inspire you guys, or hopefully inspire you guys. And I just feel so blessed that you guys would want to follow me. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. There's my cute little project. And it's already had one top coat now. So it could get a second one. Or you could leave it like that. I'll probably do a second one over it because I'd like to cover this one with top coat as well. But there we are. So cute. And this will go in our next auction. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you again so much for hanging out with me. Hit that notifications and that subscribe button if you want to see more of these kind of crafts and, you know, whatever I'm going to do out there in the van, because that's going to be totally awesome. Thanks, guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.